Welcome to the Project Flux Weekly Pulse. We're jumping straight into the really important AI developments hitting architecture, engineering, and construction.
Yeah, all based on this week's Project Flux newsletter.
Exactly. And big welcome to all the new subscribers joining the Project Flux community. Great to have you with us.
Definitely.
And just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, head over to www.projectflux.ai, subscribe to the newsletter. You really don't want to miss out.
It's where you get the full picture.
So today we're going to unpack some pretty significant shifts. We're talking AI taking over coding, new tools for workflows.
It's an amazing time, really. What felt like sci-fi just a short while ago is now becoming, actual tools we can use in AEC.
It really is. Staying on top of this is crucial.
For sure. Understanding the real impact for project delivery pros, that's key.
Okay, let's dive in. First big topic, those Microsoft layoffs. The numbers were quite something. Over 40% in Washington state were software engineers.
That's right. And it ties directly into what their CEO, Satya Nadella, said that, 30% of their code is now AI written? That's huge.
30%. So what's the takeaway for people listening, folks in project delivery?
Well, connect the dots. It signals a really fundamental change in how technical work, how it gets done. Not just in big tech, but think about our world.
You mean like BIM software, project management tools?
Exactly. Building information modeling, the software we use every day, even smart building tech. If AI handles a big chunk of that coding,
Then the roles change.
right, you probably need more people who are good at integrating AI, managing these tools, maybe fewer people doing the traditional coding grind within, say, architecture or engineering firms.
So less coding, more AI wrangling. The rise of the AI-fluent project manager.
Kind of, yeah. Someone who can orchestrate these intelligent tools. And that changes everything. Timelines, costs.
And the scale at Microsoft, 6,000 people, 3% of the workforce, it's not trivial. But then that $80 billion investment in AI next year.
It's a massive signal, a strategic shift. They're putting their money where the future is, basically.
And it's not just Microsoft, is it? The newsletter mentioned Salesforce pulling back on engineering hires because of AI, too.
Exactly. It shows this isn't a one-off. Using AI for development is becoming, the standard approach. Faster, potentially more efficient.
Which brings us to the productivity gains. That must be a huge driver, right? Fewer engineers doing the same amount of work, or maybe even more.
That's absolutely the core of it. AI takes the routine stuff, maybe even some moderately complex coding, freeing up humans for the really tricky design, the novel solutions.
Which means faster development of the tools we use in AEC, faster updates, maybe?
Potentially, yes. Faster project timelines, maybe lower costs down the line for developing and maintaining those essential digital tools.
Okay, so AI rating code. Now let's talk OpenAI's Codex. This sounds different. An autonomous AI software engineering agent.
Yeah, the autonomy part is what's really interesting here. It's powered by Codex 1, which is like a super optimized version of O3, just for coding. And it can juggle multiple tasks at once.
Multiple tasks? Like what?
Imagine, for a big project's software backbone, it could be fixing bugs, adding new features, maybe even managing parts of the coding workflow, all happening in parallel.
Wow, like a whole team of robot programmers working together.
Sort of, yeah. It's a decent analogy. It could seriously speed things up.
The newsletter estimated what, a 40–60% cut in development time? That's huge for project delivery. Time is always critical.
It's potentially massive. Think about delegating the repetitive coding to Codex. Your BIM experts, your construction tech folks, your architect software teams, they can focus on the complex, creative problem solving.
So faster digital transformation, faster BIM implementation, better IoT integration for smart buildings.
That's the potential. Imagine using Codex to quickly mock up BIM components from early sketches. It could really accelerate that whole design iteration process.
And it's not just coding, right? It does bug fixing, testing, task management, all in a secure cloud.
Yes, and that secure environment is important for project data. Plus, the review-based collaboration, humans still check the AI's work, provide feedback. It's not totally hands-off.
Right, that human oversight is key. Okay, so AI coding, AI managing coding. Now, DeepMind's AlphaVolve, this is different again. Discovering new math algorithms.
Yeah, this is pretty fundamental stuff. AlphaVolve uses Gemini, and its job is basically to push the boundaries of math itself. It's already had success, like with the kissing number problem.
The kissing number problem sounds unusual.
Yeah. It's about how many spheres can touch a central sphere. But more practically, it's found better ways to do things like multiply matrices.
Okay, matrix multiplication. How does that help someone managing a construction project? What's the connection for our listeners?
Think about the math underneath everything we do. Resource allocation, scheduling optimization, cost modeling. It all relies on algorithms.
Right.
So if AlphaVolve finds more efficient algorithms, those could eventually filter down into the software tools we use every day. Better scheduling, smarter resource use, more accurate cost predictions on big projects.
So the improved math eventually makes our project software better, potentially saving time and money.
Exactly. It might seem abstract, but better algorithms could mean scheduling software that handles mega project complexity way faster and more accurately than before. The newsletter mentioned its success in data center management, resource allocation, things very relevant to complex construction and supply chains.
And it combines creativity with rigorous checks and learns continuously.
That's the idea, generating possibilities, but also making sure they actually work. And yes, it keeps improving.
Fascinating. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. The newsletter had an article by Tom Haley on AI and quantity surveying, addressing productivity issues there.
Yes, this is a very concrete application in our industry. Quantity surveying traditionally has a lot of manual calculation, takeoff work from drawings, cost estimation.
Tedious but essential stuff.
Exactly. Haley's article talks about how generative AI can automate a lot of that. It could really tackle some long-standing efficiency bottlenecks, especially, as he notes, in the UK construction sector.
So for project teams, that means potentially faster, more accurate cost estimates, material takeoffs, less time buried in spreadsheets.
That's the immediate benefit. But the real value add is freeing up the quantity surveyors. Instead of just crunching numbers, they can focus on strategic cost planning, value engineering, where their expertise really shines. That leads to better, more profitable projects.
The article mentioned a possible 30–40% productivity boost. That's significant. But it also means new skills are needed, right? Data analysis, managing AI tools.
Absolutely crucial point. It's not about replacement, it's enhancement. QS professionals will need to understand the AI's output, its assumptions, manage the tools effectively. Data literacy becomes key.
And challenges exist, like standardizing data, upskilling the workforce.
For sure, those are real hurdles. But the potential gains in efficiency and accuracy are probably too big to ignore.
Okay, let's move to your AI toolkit section. Always some practical gems here. Tip of the week. OpenAI's new prompting guide for GPT 4.1. What's the secret sauce?
It's surprisingly simple. Clarity up front. They're saying, figure out a clear one-sentence summary of what you want before you start writing the full prompt.
Just one sentence.
Yeah. It focuses your thinking and helps the model, which is really good at following precise instructions, nail what you're after, clear input, better output.
Makes sense. Okay, also advice on building research tools with the O3 model. Relevant for complex projects, managing information overload?
Definitely. O3 and also O4 Mini can use all the standard ChatGPT tools plus custom ones you build. So you can create specialized research agents. Imagine a tool that automatically pulls relevant data from different sources for your project, analyzes it, gives you the key insights.
That sounds like a massive time saver. Okay, trending tools. First, WhisperFlow. Speech to text in over 100 languages.
Yeah, think about multinational project teams. You dictate notes, specs, meeting minutes in your language. It gets transcribed, maybe even translated. Could really smooth out communication, especially for site visits, quick documentation. It has AI commands too, auto editing.
Could be very handy. Next, Recall. AI content management. Sounds like tackling the document deluge.
That's the goal. It tries to build a self-organizing knowledge base from all your stuff, documents, specs, standards. It's augmented browsing links related info automatically. So you find what you need faster, share knowledge better, helps with informed decisions.
I can see the appeal. Then, SciSummary. Summarizing research articles instantly. Huge for engineers, architects staying current.
Absolutely. Time is precious. This cuts down the time spent reading long papers. It handles big articles, even analyses, figures, and tables, apparently. Great for staying up to date on materials, structures, sustainability research.
Very useful. Lastly, TikTok's AI Alive. Animating photos. How's that relevant?
Well, it's consumer focused now, obviously. But the underlying tech making dynamic visuals from static images that hints at the future, Easier ways to create engaging architectural renders, construction progress visuals, maybe even client walkthroughs down the line.
Interesting glimpse. Okay, moving on. Podcast of the week, it's us. The latest Project Flux deep dive on AI and construction disputes.
Yes, that was a great chat James Garner and Yoichi Sunak had with Robert Dean from Dialis. talking AI, blockchain, smart contracts, how they're changing dispute resolution, maybe even preventing conflicts. Another angle on AI's impact.
Definitely worth a listen if you missed it. And finally, the newsletter's other interesting developments. A real grab bag here. Tesla's robotaxi scrutiny.
OpenAI's deep research connectors for SharePoint, GitHub, Apple Vision Pro eye scrolling.
Klarna scaling back AI for human support. That's interesting.
Yeah, shows it's not always a simple replacement. Also, ChatGPT helping student learning, Apple's brain implant research.
Concerns about ChatGPT secrets, AI anthropomorphism. Fujisimo joining OpenAI.
SoundCloud reversing AI terms. Meta delaying its big model. Perplexity's funding.
UK artists pushing on copyright. Grok controversy. Big AI investments in Saudi Arabia, UAE.
Google expanding Gemini.
Yeah.
Windsurf's SWE1 models. It's just nonstop, isn't it?
It really is. A good reminder of how fast and broad this field is moving, both breakthroughs and reassessments happening constantly.
It's a very dynamic time.
Well, this has been another packed deep dive. Hopefully, you've all gotten some valuable insights into these rapid AI changes in AEC, all drawn from this week's Project Flux newsletter.
Yeah, lots to think about.
And remember, to get this kind of analysis and the latest news delivered right to you, subscribe at www.projectflux.ai.
That's the best way to stay current.
And hey, if you are finding value in these deep dives, we'd really appreciate it if you could give us a 5-star review wherever you listen. It honestly helps us reach more people like you.
It really does.
Finally, put this in your diaries. Friday, we've got David Blumenfeld from Core Rivet joining us. We'll be talking digital transformation specifically for real estate companies.
Oh, that should be a great conversation. Definitely relevant.
Absolutely. You won't want to miss that one. So thank you for tuning into this Project Flux Weekly Pulse.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll catch you next time for another exploration.